Hey there, folks. How you doing? Um, Wanted to give you an overview of what is happening this week. Um, I'm posting a lot of information actually about conducting a literature review. So this is from the librarian. She put it together for this course named Kate Zollner a few years ago. Pretty sure all the links are still active. The videos are just great information about conducting a literature review. Also, something to know about the Mansfield Library is that each college basically has their own librarian that we can access. So if you want to meet with someone, you should be able to do that and go over anything related to a literature review. But before you do that, make sure you review this material that I'm sharing with you, because it really is good stuff. Uh, so that, and then also a few things I want to remind you of. So I offered, to allow everyone to use a different version of the book if it saved you money, because they're generally the same. But I'm fielding tons of questions about how do the chapters match up. And if you recall, my first two communications in the course were, if you choose to use a different book, a different edition, then work with someone else in the class to figure out the right chapters, because that could be a whole ton of extra work for me, and I was just doing that as a favor. So I hope you understand that. I'm not trying to shirk my responsibilities, but I thought that was kind of the deal. I say this in every email, and I want you to know that I really mean it. If you want to meet, please just make an appointment. Come see me. I've probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 people now I've met with, and I love doing that. I love talking about educational research and just working with graduate students in general. So don't hesitate to get in touch. I'll call you. However you want to do it, Skype or whatever. I'm happy to do that too. So remember from last week, you should have your issues presentation ready to load. I'm sure a lot of you already have that done. I actually didn't look, but I'm sure a lot of you have it loaded. And now you need to go through and give feedback to your group mates. There you go. Yeah, of course. Holy cow, you guys are on the ball. So you have all week to basically give the feedback. And if you're just now uploading, that's okay too. That was the actual requirement. So, and then you actually need to submit your final project by next Thursday. So you have some time here. I did that on purpose. So you just simply had some time. So in looking at the syllabus and what's coming up, so a big chunk of this class, and I'm going to take a step back and also remind you that this course is very sequential. I like the way it's put together, and I think once students, if they're clearly following along, once students work through this class, it's really clear that everything's put together in a sequence. So stick with me there and make sure you're listening and reading, and everything's going to kind of fall in place. But I do want to give you a heads up that a big chunk of the course is doing the literature review. So you have an example of that, and now you're going to be reviewing these materials, and you need to start working on your literature review. I'm looking at, this is week 5, I'm looking at the literature review as due in week 7. So that would be 2 weeks from today. So I'm always reluctant to do this, but I don't get too hung up on deadlines. So, but that usually creates students a lot of trouble if I don't have deadlines. So in this case, like with the literature review, if you need another week, because it's a lot of work, I really don't mind if you take another week. So if that helps you out, go ahead and take the extra week, because it's also a lot of grading for me. So if it's spread out, it'll probably help me. Last thing I'm going to say on this video is be aware of plagiarism. Multiple times, I have found people just cutting and pasting on this literature review, and that is really not what it's meant to do. It's not meant for that at all. So as you're reviewing literature, in these 10 research articles, and once again, making sure they're actual research, not opinion pieces, not USA Today and Newsweek, like actual studies like the ones you've been reading and seeing in the book, where there's data analysis. Make sure you're summarizing that information, right, into the table. And the table is meant to help you organize 10 articles and summarize them. So people always ask if they can change the format. I don't mind if you change the format, but I do want it in the table and just summarize, okay? And it's a good process for you to learn a lot of information pretty quick about your topic. So hopefully you stick with your topic. This week you're going to be doing a little bit of an activity on variables. So now you're kind of picking apart that topic a little bit more, and then you're doing a literature review. So just build on these ideas, get really in depth on a topic, and I hope you can continue to enjoy learning about educational research. So please be in touch and have a great week.